So, I know. How dare I not show my face for 2 weeks? Who do I think I am? A paycheck? No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Anyway, last time we talked about Christmas, and that was fun. But this time, we're talking about the day after Christmas, and I mean Boxing Day. Boxing Day they got in Britain, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, probably elsewhere. Ireland, I assume, as well. I'm probably missing some others. But what do I know? And I'm not even going to be talking about Boxing Day in particular. It's more so about something that they watch on Boxing Day. I'm talking about that English pastime of football. And by football, I mean the world sport, Football, footy, the beautiful game, association football, soccer, etc. And humans seem to have a long history with having games with balls. Phrasing. But the first known game with a ball in which you could only use your feet, chest, and back, and head, and so on, was a game from circa 200 BC in China called Kuju, which translates to kickball, and that's not the kickball that we all know from childhood. No, it's practically soccer, but different. They had nets that had holes in them, and I don't really know the rest of it, but it might be referenced later. And there was another ball game from Greece that only allowed feet, but I tried to read the rules and I couldn't really understand it. It all just seemed a bit too Greek for me. I'm sorry. Anyway. The footy we know has its roots in Britain around 700 AD, and it was a violent game. At first, they were using both their hands and feet because it was a mix of soccer and rugby, and the ball was just a pig's bladder that they inflated because that's a fun thing to do. But when I say it was a violent game, I mean it was violent. Rather than goalposts, they would just have to score within the opponent's captain's house, and they could be forever apart for all they knew, so anything between the two houses was a playing field. And with fouls not really being a thing, and it's not like they were limited to amounts of people, they were just mobs of people chasing each other. Kill the man with the ball. Literally. People died. Broken bones. People dying. And I mean dying. People died from this. And with so much property in between, they were just damaging stuff left and right. They were just ravaging the town, playing some footy. And it became such a havoc that in the 1300s, King Edward banned football from being played across the town. And that version of football was called folk football, by the way. But anyways, it was banned. He said, finito, you're finished. Get out of here. And it was starting to be banned by other monarchs in other countries as well up until the 1600s. And in the 1600s, I can't really find much about why or how it became unbanned. I can only imagine that it went something like this. Hello, Your Grace. May we please play some footy? No. But sir, please? No. Please? We promise to make some rules eventually. Okay, fine. But make rules soon, please. Anyways, rules were confirmed around 200 years later in 1863, and that's when they separated football from rugby. In order to separate the two distinctively, they called rugby rugby, and they called football association football. And since some cool cats in England love adding an ER at the end of stuff, like 5 is a fiver and a 10 is a tenner, they abbreviated the association to a soccer. And they took out the AS because that sounded stupid. And so they had soccer. But soccer never really caught on as a name, and I wonder if there is ever going to be a country that uses it as a term for football. But also in the 1800s, soccer balls were having quite the revolution. There was this cat, H.J. Linden, that had his business inflating pig bladders. Yes, I know. It's been hundreds of years, and it's still with the pig bladders. Anyways, in 1862, H.J. Linden created the vulcanized rubber ball, which is great. Maybe a little late, considering 1 year prior, his wife died of a lung disease, which was believed to be caused from inflating pig bladders. So that could have just been the inspiration for the vulcanized rubber ball, or it was just a long con for her to die, and then he's like, all right, never doing that again, and just made the rubber ball after that. So hopefully it's the prior, because yeesh, that wouldn't be good. Is that slander? I think that's slander. Did I just create a mystery that never was? Anyway, we have a new ball, new rules. English association football clubs are popping up left, right, and center. In 1857, Sheffield FC was the first founded club. Tournaments start getting made, and it's all ragtag stuff until some rich people decide to get together and they say, hey, let's make this official. Boom, the FA Cup is born. And in 1871, Wanderers FC win the first FA Cup. After a long argument between two parties, one of which being rich people who have the time and freedom to practice and play together and win trophies together, with the other party being the working class people who have to practice and play matches in their free time, which is around their work schedule. And in 1855, it was decided that players could be paid, which would help breed more fair grounds for competition. And boom, a football economy was born. At this point, football has been transforming worldwide and becoming the world sport, except for one country who didn't get the memo about the rules in 1863 and played it differently than everyone else and kept the name starting 1892. But other than that, it quickly became the world sport. And boom, FIFA was born in 1904. And in 2004, FIFA confirmed that the first association football-esque game was Cuju. It was not the same sport, but it was organized enough and close enough to be recognized as the first association football-esque game, right? So the next time I hear England chant, "It's coming home," I'll just pretend to myself that they're rooting for China, and I'll think that's sweet and endearing. But I know, it's a joke. It's England. It's coming home. Okay, I get it. And as these things go, football just transformed and snowballed into what it is today, where now we have some Tommy McSchmo sitting on a bench somewhere making £40,000 a week. You love to see it. Anyway, I gotta go back to work so I can make some money so I can play some footy on my free time. But if you have anything you want me to talk about, let me know so I can look into it, because I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So, okay, bye.